Well, it was a contentious night on Capitol Hill during President Trump's State of the Union address before lawmakers. In fact, members of Congress had different reactions to the president's agenda. So let's bring in California Republican Representative Tom McClintock. Thank you so much for joining us today on CBS News 24/7. It's always important that we get both sides of the conversation the day after. So from what you heard last night, is the agenda that President Trump laid out achievable as Republicans work to hold on to Congress? The midterm elections, the stakes could not be higher for your party.
Well, yeah, and I think the midterms will be decided on two fundamental questions. You're better off today than you were 2 years ago, and do you really want to bring the Democrats back to reopen the borders? The big, beautiful bill that was enacted last year is Reaganomics on steroids. It not only prevented a crushing tax increase from taking effect, it provides relief for working families by abolishing taxes on tips, on overtime, on Social Security, on auto loans, provides additional relief for families and children, doubles the standard deduction, quadruples the deduction for state and local taxes. Those are all very important reforms, and they're now working their way through the economy. Real wages are starting to rise again, labor participation rates growing, unemployment slowly declining, inflation is slowly abating, government shrinking, the private sector is again expanding, stock market's breaking new records regularly. I do agree with your guest just before me that clearly people aren't feeling that in their personal lives yet. But I am very confident that as they start filing their taxes and adjusting their withholding, families are going to be feeling a big sense of relief. And in the meantime, our borders are finally secure. The illegal population is going home. Crime is now dropping at its fastest pace in decades. This homicide rate's at its lowest in 125 years. Gasoline prices are falling nationally. States with Republican governments are growing the fastest. The states with Democratic governments are growing the slowest. And record numbers of Americans are moving from Democratic states to Republican states, voting with their feet. So
well,
I think
it seems like Republicans are united in all of these talking points on the day after. In interest of the counterpoint, I want to get your reaction to Democratic California Representative Mike Thompson, who you work closely with, about the State of the Union. Let's go ahead and play a little bit about what he had to say and get your response on the other side.
I think it was unfortunate that he used the State of the Union to try and further divide things. He's been a master at dividing communities, at dividing the Congress, and he did it masterfully last night.
Okay, so your response to that, of course, we need both sides to work together. That is the best hope of anybody who goes in the ballot box to send all of you to Washington to do the bidding of the voter. Do you feel like the president stepped any way into a president that can unite both parties, or are these divisions just further deepened after last night?
Well, I think a lot of it is the response of the Democrats. I sat through 8 Obama State of the Union addresses. I sat through 4 Biden addresses. I disagreed with most of them fervently. But where we were in agreement, where they were announcing good news, all the Republicans stood up and applauded. We didn't see that much in this time. And again, I think that says more about the radical nature of the Democrats in Congress than it does about the president or about the mood of the country in general.
Well, there are calls for Republican Congressman Texas Tony Gonzalez to resign amid those allegations of an affair with a former staffer. She died by suicide. Do you think he should step down?
I think he's got a right to his day in court, in this case, a hearing before the Ethics Committee, and I think he should be afforded that right. I don't believe in the Red Queen's edict that we should have the verdict, the sentence first and verdict later.
And what is your response to the Democrats who, of course, wore those placards on their shirts or their jackets last night that had that redaction over the word we would suppose Epstein? How do you feel the DOJ has handled the rollout of all of these Epstein documents? And do you join a chorus of people to just release everything?
Well, the Biden administration had all of those documents for 4 years and didn't release a single page.
This right, and with respect, though, that's the past. Going forward, do you think that more should be done to release those documents?
This administration has already released 3 million pages of those documents. I think that says it all right there.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Congressman Tom McClintock. We appreciate you. You're welcome back anytime.